I'm going to show you how you can breed giant orange isopods. Sometimes they can be called tropical orange isopods. They're basically just a big orange wood lice that you can use for a number of different things, from live food for some of your animals, your invertebrates, even the bigger lizards. Hugo, my savannah monitor, I can't put these in with him because he just tears the place up, digging everywhere up, trying to find every one of these, and he eats them, he loves them. They can be used as a cleanup crew. I've got a couple of colonies of this inside this enclosure just here. That's Attenborough, my green tree python. Obviously he's currently actually getting a fog right now, but if you keep an eye just there, you'll see him moving around because he's really active. He loves it in the fog just there, but the fog's only coming up so far because it's escaping out the side. I'm going off topic. You can use these for live food, or you can use these for cleanup crew. Cleanup crew will eat all the poo, they will fertilise all the plants, the substrate and stuff like that, and it's so easy. There's only a number of things you need. One, a tub. I use this little 1 litre Blast Blast tub. Why do I use it? Because it's got a hinged lid on it, and you can just lift one side up to put some food in or to spray it. You can lift the other side up if you want more space off, or you can take the full lid off completely. The lid has got a couple of little ventilation holes, just there and just there on all sides. If you want to add a bit more ventilation in, feel free to do so, you can. I find that in the heat and the temperature that I culture these in, that works perfectly fine. You need some substrate to go in it. Now you can do a number of different ways. You can make your own substrate. The ideal substrate that we use is our own brand of substrate. You need to spray that down a couple of times a week though. If you want to know how to make that, it's cheap, it's easy, and it's pH neutral, which is absolutely massively beneficial for these. I'll leave a card just up there. However, in this scenario, because we are only doing a quick video, there's no fluff, there's no band, there's nothing that's going to pad out this video. We're going to use this. This is the ProReps BioLife Forest substrate, and it's really good. You only really need to mist this down once a week, so that's why I prefer this over anything, because it's a carefree setup. You can set up your culture of isopods and put it in the right place and just leave it. With this substrate, I don't really need to refresh the mix either. This has got loads of orchid bark, cocoa core, it's got loads of ingredients built in with it that are going to just beneficialise, it's just going to make the, I can't talk today, and this is a no-cut edit as well, so I can't really cut this out. Basically, the cleanup crew can live in this, they can eat this because it is bioactive friendly, it's good for your plants, and they just absolutely love it. It's great for loads of different things. If you want to see a review on that, I did a full in-depth one, I'll link it just up there. Now with the tropical orange isopods, the babies like to burrow, so you're going to find a lot of the babies burrowing down, so give it a good 1.5 inches worth of substrate. I've not put enough in there, so I'm going to drop another bit there, and I've got it filled to about there. As you can see, it's got loads of bits in there. I love the fact that this substrate's got charcoal in it, and that's solely because it neutralises the pH level. So if your water that you're adding into this is actually acidic, that's going to help neutralise it. Now we're going to get some water. I should have prepared this earlier, but I was spraying down Attenborough, the green tree python over there. That's why it was over there. Get your water. It's very important to do a quick setup like this that you use room temperature or slightly warmer than room temperature water. So that's what I always use. I never use it straight out the tap, just nice, simple. And I give it a good quick mist. Now obviously you saw me pack that down, and that's because the water level is going to get in there, and it's just like the normal layers that you get in nature. So it really does compact down in the lower levels, and then I just get a very light sprinkling and sprinkle it on top. Just blast it around, nothing special. And again, just a quick rinse, nothing special. As you can tell, that was just a quick rinse. Now on top of that, we want to add a few extra little bits and pieces. White rotten wood. They love to burrow into this, they love to eat this. It just helps their digestive tract. It's just a lot of things. To know if you've got white rotten wood, you just grab it and give it a twist, and if it falls apart just like that, you know you've got some good wood. Now I collected this from outside. The best way to do this is to go somewhere where there's no dog feces, no dog urine. It's not a kept path, so there's no fertilizers, insecticides, no pathogens that are in that actual path that can harm these animals. Because I mean, if you go to near a farmer's field and he's been spreading insecticide over all of his crops, and then you get that insecticide, Mushu's going crazy, you get that insecticide leaf or branch or whatever and put it in here, it's just going to kill off all your animals. So be careful where you get it from. If you are unsure, when you get home, just whack it in the freezer. That'll cure an awful lot of it. You can boil it, that'll do an awful lot as well. And then just leave it to dry out, get back up to room temperature, and just leave it for a few days. Now I'm just grabbing this, and I've got little like archway bits just like that. They like to hide under there. I've got little tiny chunks there, and I've just got a sprinkling going around the top. But then I also want to try and get a chunk where they can actually hide. There we go, just twist it off, whack it straight on the top, and they can hide underneath that, and they can hide, well yeah, they can hide underneath it, but basically that's it, and they can eat it from the inside out. Once you've done that, again, grab your room temperature water, just a quick blast. You don't need to do anything special. Grab some leaf litter. The leaf litter that you want, I've only got a little bit here because that's all I've actually got on hand. I really do need to go out and pick up some more. Again, this is what they hide under, this is what they eat, this is what they eat and then poo out to re-fertilise the soil to give you a really rich and healthy culture of isopods. So, nice and clean and simple. That's all you really need to do. With the setup, that's all you really need to do. There's a few extra bits and pieces. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to get some of this big chunky stuff out, because I was just showing you that as the setup. And then I'm physically going to get the cultures of tropical orange isopods. Now these, I got these really cheap. They were chucked in the back of a reptile shop where nobody had bought them. To be fair, they were hidden, so nobody could buy them because they couldn't see them. So I would assume some of these are not going to be extremely healthy. We'll have a look and we'll see. So we've got 4 pots here. I don't think I'm going to be putting all 4 pots in there, but with the size of the container, make sure your size is compatible with how many isopods you've actually got. You want all the adults to actually be able to find each other so they can do the dance with no pants and then create you more babies. So as you can see, there's virtually nothing in there. If we give it a jiggle around and we'll see if anything does move. What's that one there? There we go. There's one. These are really good at playing dead. You are going to see these play dead an awful lot. So there's, he's just started moving, there he is. See him? So we've at least got one in here, so I'll get him out. Now you can chuck all the soil straight into there if you want to. My preference is they've been in this for I don't know how long. I'm just going to try and find the odd one or two and drop them in. I'm on a few of the other ones. See, oh, that's a big one. There we go. Oh, that is a big one. So again, these are burrowed, so I'll drop you in there. Go on in there. And I'm going to keep that and just keep the lid on it, just in case there's any eggs or any babies that I can't see. You never know what could actually be in there. But I've just put 2 in. Normally you do get a lot more than 2 in these pots. If you want to know where these pots are, I'll leave some links in the description down below. There is tons in this one. So what I've done with these, I got these about a week ago, and I've got some food. And I'll talk you through the food in a minute. And I basically put the food in here, put these somewhere warm and dry so they could come back alive, because they were dead slow and sluggish. They'd been in a cold room. Now this one, I can see there's loads in there. So I'm literally just going to grab the whole lot and dump it in. Yeah, I rehydrated them, added some food in there, and I've left them for a good week or so to be able to sort of come back to life. And they seem to be doing really well. There was a lot in there. Can you see them all crawling around? Yes, there was a lot. This one doesn't look too promising. Again. So yeah, at the minute, there's there's a few there. They're burrowed down, but they don't look. Oh no, they are. They're alive. You see them are down. So this just proves they do burrow down. So again, there's a lot in there. So I'm just going to pour the whole lot in there. Again, grab the lid, put the lid back on that one. This one. Oh yeah, we've got a fair few in there as well. See them all burrowed down underneath there. See, they're not, these are fully grown adults. Compare it to the size of my finger. So they're not giant isopods, but these are great for your larger species because they can hide away, they can feed your animals, they're easily to spot, so your animal will feed on them. And this one, again, there's quite a bit in there, so I'm just going to drop the whole lot in there. There we go. Now, the joy is I've put that much soil in there and I've added on top of it. What's going to happen now is as they eat it and then poo it all back out, their bodies are going to absorb some of the nutrition that's inside that soil, that's inside the leaf litter and inside the white rotten wood. And the substrate layer is going to go down over time. So you may need to top it back up here and there and a bit there and a bit here and whatever like that. And put all your leaf litter, your chunks back in it. That is the setup complete. That is the setup totally complete. Actually, there's quite a few in there, so I'm going to give it a bit more just a bit of moisture, just like that. Now, where do we put this? What do we do? There's a couple of tricks here. You need to try and keep them around about 80 degrees. Upper 70s, lower 80s is absolutely perfect for these. If you can keep them at a constant temperature 24 hours a day, that's even better. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You've got the top of, let's take this enclosure just here behind me. If that was a snake enclosure and the heat lamp that's in there was on 24 hours of the day, there's kinetic heat at the top. So the heat comes off the heat bulb, it obviously goes down to the basking area, but it also comes up, heats the wood up. And then you've got a hot spot on top of that wood that you don't really notice. It's just wasted energy. You can drop a few of them straight in there. Just leave them on top of the enclosure. It's not a problem. If your enclosure's quite high up, you ain't even going to see it because it's at the back. Me, however, I've got this big enclosure just up here. You can see a couple of tubs in there already. They're just different species of isopods. A good top tip is to try and get one of the stickers off these tubs and stick it on there so you know what you've got. I'm going to put it up in there. It's nice, it's humid, it's out the way, and it's heated. There is a heat lamp in there. I'm going to go around with my temperature cannon because I can't see the G word on YouTube. I'm going to find the right spot. Let me know in the comments section below if you guys do this and if you guys do it in a slightly different way. I'd love to know your substrate mixes because I find that everybody who does this makes their own substrate. So stick your substrate mix in the comments down below, and then anybody who's new to this can go down there and pick whichever one is actually beneficial for them. I would advise everybody to go with the one with charcoal in it because that is an amazing additive to the substrate layers. I think that is food. These are a slightly protein loving species. If you do not feed these protein, they are going to start cannibalizing each other. Now protein, you can feed them live food. If you can get a dead locust or a dead mealworm or superworm or anything like that, you can chuck that straight in there, and that's a really good bonus bit of protein for them. They thrive off it, they love it. Ideally get a live food that has either just been killed or just died, so it's still big and juicy. Me personally, I use the a la carte range from Aquarium Systems. This is the krill palette. Now krill is a protein source. It's a moisture protein source, so it's underwater sort of thing. And that whole tub cost me around about £4. It's lasted me a year already. And I just literally, tiny little sprinkle, that is it. Every month or so I'll chuck another piece of live food in there just to actually physically give them something there. And that is it. That is how you culture tropical orange isopods. If you have learnt anything, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know who's watching this in the comments down below. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe. Peace out.